Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vijay and we are learning Python with our Python Mastery series. So, in the previous video, we studied about while loop. We are using while loop whenever we know there is a condition and we want to execute a block of code until the condition gets false. So, in the previous video, we saw a mini project on that also, and we generated a token based on the number of customers at that current time, runtime, whatever the number of customers are there, whatever the input will be, it will keep on generating the tokens until that number of customers are there. Okay. So next part, we will be seeing today a for loop. So what about the for loop when there is already a while loop? The need is that, let's say we know the number of iteration we have to go through, how many times we want to run the block of code, not based on any condition, but the number of times. Let's say I told you that we need to execute a welcome message for 10 times a day, or we have a menu that we need to repeat from start to end. We have 50 items, so that we need to one by one iterate. So in that scenarios, we read through the for loop. Each item will be like printed with the help of for loop. That we will see the execution definitely in the VS Code. The implementation will give you more idea, but the core idea is that it is used whenever the number of iteration are known. Okay, and while loop is used whenever we already have a condition and we want to execute until that condition becomes false. Okay, so let's jump to our blackboard. Okay, so let's start our theory part with while loop used when until condition is false, and the for loop based on number of iterations. Okay, both will be like doing a loop work only, but the difference is one is based on the condition, other one is based on the number of iteration. Okay, then let's go with an example. Let's say we have menu where we stored burger, pizza, then we have pasta and coffee. Okay, so what for loop will do, once we have a for loop started, what it will next do, let's put an arrow. Okay, now for loop is started, it will iterate to the first item, burger. Okay, then it will iterate to, in the second iteration it will iterate to the next item. I'm just bringing it in the center. Okay, so it will iterate to pizza. Okay, and let me copy this. Okay, okay, the next item will be pasta. Okay, in that way it will iterate to the last item. Oops, I copied the wrong way. Let me take it to the top. Okay, now it will iterate to the last item, coffee. Okay, and then at final the loop ends here. Okay, so whenever the loop starts, it start with the first item in the list, then it will go to the second item, iterate for the third item, then fourth, whatever the number of items are there, it will iterate one by one to each of them, and at last the loop ends. Okay, the important things are iteration is done at one item at a time. It automatically stops when the last item is iterated, and then we do not need to manually increment. Like you saw in the while loop, we were doing initialization, condition, and then the third part was increment. If we don't do increment, it was leading to a infinite loop. In this scenario, we don't need to do that because it will automatically be ended with the number of elements are completed. Let's say there are 4 elements, it will iterate 4 times, and then the loop will end or terminate automatically. Okay, the implementation is quite cleaner than the while loop, so it is very easy. Let's jump to the implementation on the VS Code. Okay, so we will start with the basic one, basic for loop. And what we will do, for number, like we did a count example in uh, while loop, similar example we will be doing here. Let's say we take a list of 1 2 3 4 elements, and then we will print the number. Okay, quite simple. What we are doing here, we are telling this is the item in this list. So one by one, it will, this value of 1 will be assigned to number, it will go and execute the loop. Then the value of 2 will be assigned to this number, it will execute the loop in that way. Okay, so let's see that. Okay, so here you can see first, in the first iteration, number 1 is assigned. Let me write a message also, so it will give you a more idea. First number iteration. Okay, and value. Okay, so as we are printing in sequential, so the number is quite simple, 1 2 3 4 only. So it will give you that first iteration value is 1, second iteration value is 2. Okay, let's say I want to do an operation also. I want to make a multiplication with 2 with each number. So what it will do, it will multiply 2 on this first element, then again runs the loop on second element. How many times? Whatever the number of elements are there in that original list. Okay, so here you can see first iteration 1 multiplied by 2, 2, 2 multiplied by 2, 4 in the second iteration. In that way it can print that thing. Okay, so this is how the loop works. So we have this loop variable. Okay, let me write the important things. First is we have to define a loop variable. In this example we have number, then we have iterable, and uh, let me, okay, and the third one is automatic iterations. Okay, so these are the three things. Here loop variable is this, then we have iterable, that is iterating the value one by one, automatically pass. Once this value is done, then it is moving to the next value, so that is the iterable. And then the automatic iteration is that once this is done, we don't have to do manual increment that part, like we were doing in the while loop. If you remember, we were doing count plus 1 that we were doing, so that the count value do not lead to an infinite loop. So here we do not need to do. Once one part of the loop is executed, then the second iteration will automatically have the updated value of the next element. Okay, let's go further. Our menu example that we saw in the theory. So what I will do, I will create a list with pizza, then we have burger, then we have coffee, then we have pasta. Okay, so we have a 4 element list. This list could be of 50 elements also. For demonstration, I am just showing 4 elements. And let's say I want to iterate a loop for item in menu. So this menu can have n number of items. So I am not concerned about this. Automatically, the item variable, loop variable, will take the value one by one and it will iterate through and perform the action based on the code written under the for loop. Okay. So right now, let's say I am printing this item. Okay. So it will automatically do that. You can see here pizza, burger, coffee, pasta. Automatically one by one, it is able to print that thing. Now, moving forward, let's say we want to iterate a string. That is also possible. Let's say my name is Vijay, and for character in name, I want to iterate each of the character. So that is also possible. It will go one by one here. So sorry, I wrote name, that should be character, because we want to print each of the characters. So here you can see it iterated first to V, then move to the next character. After printing the first character, then it moved to the next. So automatically you can see the iteration, how it works. And string also is kind of a collection, so each character is visited once. Okay. Now same iteration we can do with the other data types. I'm showing the possibilities how we can use this for loop. So you can see that we did it with the list, with string. Same we can do with the tuple also. Let's say I create a tuple t with round bracket Sunday, Monday. Then we have Tuesday. I'm not writing all the days, just to give you demonstration. I'm writing only one day. Okay. Okay. This is the inverted comma giving me the alert. Okay. Now let's say I want to iterate. Rather than t, suitable variable is days. Okay. We can give a more meaningful variable name for day in days. This is very common defined method that most of the developers use. It is not hard and fast, but it's a good coding practice. So whenever you are using the for loop, let's say you are iterating a item from items variable. I will give you an example. Let's say there is items equal to some a, then b, in that way. So for loop is written in a way like for item in items. So here also you can see we have written the variable will be days and we will be writing for day in days. Okay. Then what we want to print? We want to print each of the day. So this is just a best coding practice, not hard and fast that you follow this, but yeah, uh, it seems code more readable. So here you can see Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Even if I add Wednesday, I do not have to worry about anything else. Python will automatically detect that the element are increased and it will print that increase iteration automatically by one. Okay, based on the number of elements in the collection. Now we can have the what we say else. Let's say we have a list of customers. We have Rahul, we have Neha, we have what, who else? We have Rajni. Okay, so this should be customers, and let's say for customer in customers, the welcome message that I told you, how we can do that. So here we can print, and we do not have to worry about how many customers are there. We just have to fill it like we did last time. We can append whenever a customer comes into this list using the dot append method, and whenever we run this loop, it will automatically print a welcome message for the customer based on the number of lines. If there is one customer, it will execute this one time. If there are 50 customers, it will execute this 50 line with their name. Here you can see welcome Rahul, welcome Neha, welcome Rajni. Even if I add my name, welcome Vijay. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, I guess enough of examples we have seen. We can now r- move to our mini project for this video. Mini project, and what we can have the project for today in Code Cafe is menu selection. We already saw that that can be created. Okay, or menu display, actually, not selection. Display system we can develop. Okay, so what we can do, we can have print welcome to Code Cafe. Then we can have our menu in the format of a list. We can have pizza. Then we can have, what else we can add, burger. We can add next item as coffee, pasta. Then we can have next item as sandwich. Okay, what else? Next item, let's keep a dosa also, my favorite. And then we can run a for loop for item in menu. Okay, and what we can print, we can print the item, and we can also print, rather than writing thank you, we can write here, because we are displaying the menu, enjoy the meal, because we expect that order will be done. And here also we can add a print statement mentioning today's menu. Okay, and we can have a slash n here. Okay. Hmm, let's add a emoji here to make it little presentable. 7 food. Mm, okay, we can add a emoji of this dish. Okay, and have a variable. Okay, I guess the code seems good. We can try to run it. You can see pizza, burger, coffee, pasta, sandwich, dosa. Okay, it's, it is printing in a proper formatted way, whatever we want. Just actual 2 lines of code can print whatever number of items are there. If I increase this to 50, 100 also, I do not need to change the actual code. That dynamic power programming provides us. Okay, so automatically the menu items will be displayed, and we do not have to write any repetitive like print pizza, print burger. If in that way, if I write, or let's say for 7 items, 7 print statement, tomorrow the number of items increase to 50 or 100. Do I need to write 50 or 100 lines of code that I need to add? No, that is not needed. So tomorrow, let's say item is added. So simple, what I can do, I can simply have a menu dot append whatever the input user is giving. Okay, and that one, that item is added, then this loop can run and everything can be sorted out. So we do not need uh, extensive development or we can say editing in the code. Okay, so that is the important thing. Now, just to recap what we have seen the difference between the while loop and the for loop, and we went through our menu example, how the flow of the for loop is. Then we jumped to our coding. We started with basic, how the for loop syntax is, and we implemented some of the example. We implemented in different data structures. Also, we were able to print a welcome message, like whatever the number of customers will be, that kind of a small thing that we experimented. Then finally, we built our menu display system as a mini project. Okay, so okay, so this was it for this video. I hope you are liking this series. Please comment if you have any suggestions, or if you want any topics to be covered in the Python Mastery series. I hope this series will be helpful to you. Happy coding!